Distributors accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And by the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Visit gov.ky/steps to learn more. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is Friday, the 14th day of July, 2023, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. And to remind you, those of you using the roads of the Cayman Islands, while school is out and there may not be as much traffic on our roads, we still have our youngsters who are on the road because they are either being transported to camp by their parents, or they may be transported by the camps themselves. They may have, means of transportation for them. So you still want to continue to observe caution out there, observe the rules of the road. Not only our children, but everyone on the road need to be protected. We all need to be protected on our roads, and we do that by, first of all, trying to protect ourselves, but we also have to rely on the other road users to do the same as well. So, again, please, please, please be extremely cautious. If you had an opportunity to either attend the meeting that was held by Minister Bryan and Minister Turner in collaboration with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service last night at Constitution Hall, or if you don't recognize that name, at the Georgetown Town Hall. Again, one of the participants there, I think it was Superintendent Roger Williams, who spoke about the traffic situation and about the drivers on our roads and some of the challenges that we're facing as well. If you get an opportunity to go back and look at that, if you didn't have the opportunity to either be at the meeting or to follow it live last night as well, I would urge you to do that. And we'll talk a little bit about that this morning as well. So, for those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we do want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. And I need to remind you that this segment of the For the Record birthday shoutouts are brought to you by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture, tap into your roots. More Than Words. And they're located on the second floor of the Thompson Building. Also, Pizza Boat. They're now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. You can hop on board the Pizza Boat Express. Pizza Boat, they make pizzas even more fun. You can either pick up or have them delivered as well. You do so by calling 949-0000, or you can order online on www.pizzaboat.ky. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. And again here, our Radio Cayman family continue to extend our condolences, to keep them in our prayers as well, Miss Martha Watler and her family. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Again this morning, that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. We can also take calls from that number, one caller at a time. Follow us on YouTube. You do that simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. And we are on Facebook as well. And to remind you, this segment of For the Record, birthday shoutouts, this segment is brought to you by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture, tap into your roots. More Than Words, located on the second floor of the Thompson Building. And Pizza Boat, now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Hop on board the Pizza Boat Express. Pizza Boat makes pizza even more fun. They have pickup or they can deliver as well. Call 949-0000 or order online through www.pizzaboat.ky. Let's check the birthdays today. We see Miss Sonia Parchment. She's celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday greetings going out to Miss Sonia Parchment. Delissa Hernandez also celebrating a birthday today. And Ms. Nikki Connolly McCoy also celebrating a birthday today. We also have here, Miss Jewel is sending happy birthday greetings to the former Member of Parliament for North Side, Mr. Ezard Miller, and birthday greetings coming from Miss Jewel. Let's see who's celebrating birthday we want to find tomorrow first. We have Valden Scott, who's celebrating a birthday tomorrow, and Diana Wright Bush also celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Then on Sunday, we have Adrian Bailey, Melissa McTaggart Thompson, Gary Jackson, Trinibol Juicy, and Toby Watson. They're celebrating their birthdays. Toby Watson on Tuesday. Sorry, that's Tuesday, the 18th of July. Missed that one there. So, happy birthday to those celebrating today, those celebrating tomorrow, those celebrating on Sunday. And we will keep you shouting you out for your birthdays, of course, courtesy of More Than Words and the Pizza Boat Express as well. So we do have one caller, but before we go to that caller, it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning none other than Dr. Steve McField. Doc, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record, and good morning to all your listeners in the For the Record land, and those that listen to you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and all the listeners in the Cayman diaspora. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Not bad. Dr. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm great.
I know that. I think you and OC works together, and that's what keeping you going must be keeping him going too. I guess. I don't see him on the bicycle no more.
I'm still out there. Was out there yesterday morning.
All right. Okay. Good morning. Mr. Mark Field, could you answer me this question, sir?
Mm-hmm.
The English test, is it still being administered for people coming on work permit?
That's right.
Well, I see some people coming to Cayman with their work permits in their hand, and they can't speak English. How does that work?
I don't know, and I would have to, I can't agree with you because I haven't witnessed that. I know that the English test is, you can take it from any part of the world because it's a test now that's on universal, and you can take it from any country. And there are different kinds of English tests, but there's one particular test that we recognize under our immigration law that we articulate that we will accept. But to tell you the truth, I have not witnessed anyone coming here with a work permit in their hands that couldn't speak English. That would be a great anomaly, and I can't agree with you, but I would have to see that myself.
Well, sir, I'm asking a question. Can you do it online now? That's what you're saying.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. Because I was on a plane few weeks ago, and the people had the permit in their hand because I helped them fill out some forms coming on the plane to the airport, and they couldn't speak English. Mm-hmm. So I was just wondering how that works.
Well,
because I helped them fill out these forms myself.
Well, if they on the other hand, if they have the permit in their hands and you assist them on the plane, they would have to, unless they pass the test, and that test is very secure. They're not given answers before, but if they are on an airplane and they have the permit, when they come here, they would have to take the test here. And if they didn't take the test, then their permit would not be valid to work. They would have to come and take the test there. And I know that as a fact.
Now, when you say they couldn't speak English, what do you mean? They couldn't speak it properly, or they couldn't speak any English at all?
Very, very, very limited, OC. Very, very limited.
Because that test that is given, it is graded in different areas.
That's right.
In terms of the written part, the comprehension, and everything. So you don't have to get 100%. So you're not expected to speak perfect English
or have a conversation in English.
Right. Yeah. So it is the test itself. It does not have the expectation, or the results of it isn't for you to speak perfect English.
If you can do it online.
Yes. The answer is yes, you can do it online, and there are several versions of the test that is done online. It is an international thing because not only the Cayman Islands, we're not the only ones who are faced with a situation where you have foreign nationals coming into the country to work. So it is something that entrepreneurs out there have developed, make money off of it, simply because you can go online and take the test. And like I said, there are several versions of it. And like Dr. McField said, there are certain versions that are accepted by the Cayman Islands authorities.
And,
no problem. Thank you.
And I have and caller, before you go, I do have first-hand knowledge that if you haven't taken the tests and you have the work permit, when you come here, before you can work,
You have to
take the test here. Then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. We have another caller on hold, but we have... okay, that caller has left. We're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Anton Bancroft Borden. Anton Borden came of age at a time when educational opportunities in the Cayman Islands were very limited, and he made the best of what they were. In 1943, he left Cayman to seek his fortune in Colon, Panama. After 4 years, he returned home and started his own business, which included barbering and opening a modern dancing studio. He was elected as vestryman representing Bordentown. With the advent of constitutional change in the late 1950s, he became a founding member of the National Democratic Party and was elected under their banner in 1960. His political career spanned 12 years. He was married to Vernice Nee Miller, and the two had 5 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture. Tap into your roots. More Than Words bookstore in the Thompson Building. Supplies local books, gifts, trinkets, keepsakes, wall plaques, and journals. The hub for local authors. More Than Words. So much more. More Than Words is now open. Shop number 4, 2nd floor Thompson Building. Or call 936-5544.
I love Pizza Boat. It's yummy.
It has my 2 favorite things combined, cheese and boat.
Pizza Boat makes pizza way more fun.
Hop on board the Pizza Boat Express. Kids, now Pizza Boat makes pizza even more fun. Summer is here. Lunch or dinner, let Pizza Boat bring the fun. Pizza Boat, a Cayman twist to pizza, bringing fusion ingredients from all over the globe to give you locally inspired fresh pizzas all day, every day. Pizza Boat, now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery 949-0000 or order online www.pizzaboat.ky.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Dr. Steve McField. For those of you who are listening, if you're planning on calling in, I would suggest that you wait until after the 8 o'clock news to call in. We have about another 6 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. And Doc, we celebrated Sea Sunday here in the Cayman Islands on Sunday. I noticed that in other jurisdictions, there are some jurisdictions that celebrate a whole month of for this, recognizing seafarers. Others celebrate a whole week, of it as well. I noticed when I read in the Jamaica newspapers, they also involve not only seamen, but all of the other companies that are involved in the shipping industry, so agents and
transfer people and all of those things.
And I would say that maybe that is something that the organizers may want to look at. And we know that Ms. Merle McGann of St. Vincent de Paul, they're the ones who started this. But I think we should seek to broaden the participation in it. And one of the ideas would be, you take up companies like Thompson Shipping and what's the other one that we have in Cayman?
Seaboard.
Take them on. As a matter of fact, the Maritime Authority in Jamaica was highly involved in their celebrations as well. We didn't see here much about the Maritime Authority here in the Cayman Islands being involved in it as well. And when it comes to shipping, Cayman Islands, like some, we comparable to those Nordic countries in terms of being part of our tradition.
We have
we need to expand it. If we're going to keep it alive, we need to really expand its reach.
We have a long history of shipping and shipbuilding. Yeah. I think we built over 300 and we built 400 schooners in our lifetime.
I heard Mr. Jerris Miller talk about it the other day.
I have the names of all of those schooners and who built them. And the problem that we have, one of the things that I was advocating when I was vice president of our Seafarers Association, was that there is an international Seamen's Association, where I was advocating to us that we should join that International Seamen's Association, and they have a celebration in London. I think it's 2 weeks every July, where a lot of associations over there, and they have a lot of things that's happening. They talk about health care and they talk about pensions, and they talk about all those things for seamen and their wives and their children and their offsprings. And the problem that we have now is that a lot of our seamen are getting older, and then what in in the next decade, what's going to happen when most of them are gone?
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen to seamen? We don't want it to come to an end. And so the membership should now include some of their children.
And they're doing that. They're expanding it now to children, as well.
And like you say, the gentleman who Mr. Scott, who was here yesterday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. He was speaking about he didn't go to sea on ships, sail away from port to port, but he also worked something like 3 years or something on the ship to ship.
Yeah,
and I wonder if that could be recognized as
well. I think they announced at the Sunday's ceremony that he had been made an honorary seafarer as well. Yes. Before we go to our 8 o'clock news, some of the oldest seamen, some of the seamen that are still alive, if you're listening, you will recognize this name, the Julius H. Barnes. I heard many seamen talk about the Julius H. Barnes. Well, on the 28th of July, 1966, our Trade Winds newspaper here in the Cayman Islands not only reported, but had a photograph of the Julius H. Barnes, and Doc, she looks like she must have been an ore carrier.
Old ball carrier,
yeah.
Like, yes.
Okay, yeah. So the article reads, shown above is the MV Julius H. Barnes, a vessel well known to Cayman, anchored in Georgetown Harbor Monday, while picking up additional crew. She is of Bahamian registry. I guess those days, Bahamas was one of the hot places for ship registration.
Yes,
we hadn't really gotten into
it yet.
At that point in time. Of course, we took a lot of business from the Bahamas when we did get into it.
And Panama too.
Yeah. So she's
and
of
Liberia.
She's of Bahamian registry. 1,848 tons with a draft of 14 feet. Her master, I bet you not many of you can guess who her master was, Captain Felton S. Dixon. And folks, do you know where Captain Felton S. Dixon was from? Bosun Bay, Grand Cayman. And she carries several other Caymanians as crew. So if any of you know of Captain Felton S. Dixon, or if you may be related to him and you know his story, we would love to hear from you right here on For the Record to tell us what you know about Captain Felton S. Dixon. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Price Right. It's 8 o'clock.
Summer is heating up.
And Priced Right is sizzling.
Splash down into Priced Right Sizzling Summer for a chance to dive into our prize pool worth over $2,000.
Between now and July 31st, your purchase of $100 or more gives you a chance to compete for one of 20 prize packs with the best summer electronics and home goods.
That'll be sure to keep you cool and your summer hot.
Promotion only valid at Priced Right at the Airport Center. For more info, go to fosters.ky/Priced Right Summer.
Summer better for less at Priced Right.
Radio Cayman,
the voice,
the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. At Thursday night's Georgetown meeting with police and MPs, members of the community got an update on what the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is doing to stem the recent increase in robberies and gun crime.
In response, what the RCIPS has done is given additional resources to several units. That would be our firearms units, our crime task force, our CID. Included in that,
Superintendent Roy Williams is in charge of uniform and special operations. He says police are using a variety of techniques to prevent crimes and catch criminals.
We recognize and look at trends and look at what nights are, the particular trends, and ensure that we have maximum resources at those times that we would consider the peak times.
Inspector Williams notes guns and robberies aren't the only focus.
From an entire RCIPS perspective, We are ensuring that we are putting the effort. We had over the last weekend several operations, and a big thing that we're pushing for at this time is also looking at the drugs within our community. So we had a drug operation over the weekend, and several items of illegal control substances were found, and persons were dealt with accordingly.
Thursday's meeting at Constitution Hall was organized by Georgetown Central MP, the Honorable Kenneth Bryan, and MP for Prospect, the Honorable Sabrina Turner. Attendees in person and online were able to ask questions and make comments about their concerns. The full meeting is available online at Radio Cayman's Facebook page. And in the midst of this, Superintendent Brad Ebanks met with CIGTV to share some tips for personal safety and how the public can help police and crime management.
The general public can protect themselves in a wide range of areas. CCTV, working, good quality CCTV is important to us. Having a plan and discuss with staff in the event that they are subject to a robbery or similar incident, discuss that plan with their staff. In addition to that, we want to make sure that they take the necessary action to put proper lighting in place around their premises, and for their staff just to be vigilant.
Remember, if you have information that can assist with criminal investigations, you can submit tips by logging on to rcips.ky. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The UN says almost 300 children are estimated to have died or disappeared this year whilst attempting to cross the Mediterranean Sea from North Africa to Europe. It's urging governments to better protect vulnerable young people by creating safe and legal pathways for them to migrate and seek asylum. One of Vietnam's largest online news outlets, Zing News, has suspended publication for 3 months after a government investigation. Vietnam's communist authorities have been tightening controls on the media. Russia's lower house of parliament has unanimously passed legislation that bans gender reassignment surgery. It will also see marriages of couples where one person has subsequently changed gender annulled. India's space agency has successfully launched its latest mission to land a rover on the moon. The Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft will attempt to deploy a lander on the lunar surface next month. A strike by Hollywood actors has begun. The dispute is over pay and the use of artificial intelligence in films and TV shows. The US Department of Defense says it believes the Russian paramilitary group Wagner is no longer participating in any significant capacity in combat in Ukraine. But a Pentagon spokesman said most Wagner forces were still present in Russian-occupied areas. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the guest of honour at this year's French Bastille Day celebrations, being held under tight security 2 weeks after riots swept the country. Thousands of police officers have been deployed to prevent a repeat of the unrest that followed the police killing of a teenager. The Acropolis in the Greek capital Athens has been closed during the hottest hours of the day to protect visitors from an intense heatwave gripping the country. Visitors have been barred from entering the famous attraction between noon and 5 p.m. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the pharmacy just to fill a prescription?
If what, child, let me tell you.
Well, now you can save time and money with ValueMed's online prescription service. Visit ValueMed's new website, valrx.com, and click the Refill Subscriptions button. Fill in your information and choose your preferred pickup location. Or email your prescription refills for ValueMed Walkers Road at rx-wr@valrx.com, and for ValueMed in Boddentown, email rx-bt@valrx.com. Say goodbye to the hassle of waiting in lines and hello to the convenience of online prescriptions with ValueMed Pharmacy. Visit valrx.com to place your orders today.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Prodigal Son. Grand Cayman, the original Gospel Fest is back. Michelle T and friends in association with JN Money Transfer present Jamaica's 61st Independence Gospel Fest. Saturday, August 5th at the Lion Center. Featuring Prodigal Son, Michelle T, Da Flame, Claudel Clark, Ryan Davis, Laverne Welcome, and Rashada Henry. $30 prepaid, $35 at the gate. Ticket outlet, JN Money Transfer, Funky Tanks, Macross Groceries, all locations. Gate open at 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. Come, let's have a time of thanksgiving and praise.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you want to go scuba diving on your vacation, don't bedazzle your wetsuit. And you think you look great, but what you don't realize is that you look like a shiny, scaly fish. And it won't take long for a shark to notice you. Next thing you know, you're busting out every karate move you got. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance and get airlifted out to the closest hospital.
Get coverage for emergency evacuations. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 87 degrees. Relative humidity is 76%. The barometric pressure is 29.93 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 6 knots. Overnight low temperature was 82 degrees. Synopsis indicate light to moderate winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a weak pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. Further east, a tropical wave is expected to move into the Cayman area this morning, supporting an increase in cloudiness and showers. The wave is expected to move west of the Cayman area this evening. Radar images currently show showers in and around the Cayman area moving west. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida is issuing advisories on subtropical storm Dawn, which at last check was located near 32.9 north, 46.8 west, is about 1,165 miles west to southwest of the Azores, with maximum sustained wind speed of 50 miles per hour and moving towards the north at 6 miles per hour. The storm poses no threat to the Cayman Islands. For further information, you can always visit www.nhc.noa.gov. Now, the forecast for today for the Cayman Islands, calling for partly cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times, with a 40% chance of showers and thunder, and showers will be locally heavy at times. Temperatures today will be in the low 90s, with a heat index of 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate, with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight. Partly cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times, with a 30% chance of late night showers and thunder, and temperatures dipping to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate, with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 3 minutes past 2, and a high tide again tonight at 8:52. The sun will set this evening at 5 minutes after 7, and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:57. And the outlook is calling for partly cloudy skies along with moderate southeasterly winds and seas through Sunday morning. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Britke. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking. Change your life. Developing the giver's mindset can bolster any relationship.
As motivational speaker Tony Robbins said, some of the biggest challenges in relationships come from the fact that most people enter a relationship in order to get something. They're trying to find someone who's going to make them feel good. In reality, the only way a relationship will last is if you see a relationship as a place that you go to give and not only a place that you go to take.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Encourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic, slight delays expected. Also coming off of the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, traffic is steady. And steady traffic from the east on Crew Road heading to Georgetown, so slight delays expected. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road is moving on moderately. Further up on, let's look at Shamrock Road, flowing moderately in both directions. Linford Pearson Highway, steady but flowing traffic. As we look to downtown Georgetown on Edward Street, traffic is light to moderate, as well as out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, looking pretty good. Light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive. From the west before we stop, traffic is flowing pretty good. Coming off of the Esterly Tibbetts Highway is steady but flowing traffic, as well as on North Sound Road, and moderate flow of traffic heading towards the Industrial Park area. On Huldah Avenue, traffic is steady, and that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, click it or ticket. Have a good morning and drive safe.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe Cafe con Leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Are you ready for a midsummer miracle? Get ready for the Christmas in July sale at Tortuga and discount retail stores. All July, Tortuga is bringing exclusive Red Dot deals in store. Discover incredible savings on selected items that will make your summer merrier. But hurry, the Red Dot deal is available while stock lasts during regular store trading hours. Don't miss the once-in-a-summertime offer to save on your favorite beverages and more with Christmas in July. Visit a Tortuga and discount retail stores near you.
It's a 24-karat summer with Digicel. In honor of our first truly COVID-free summer, Digicel is giving away $24,000. Be one of 10 to win $2,400 this July. For a chance to win, all you have to do is switch to Digicel, activate a Prime bundle, or simply pay your bill on time. It's that easy. It takes 2 minutes to get $2,400 richer. Make the choice to win today and visit a Digicel store near you.
CUC Advisory. Customers are advised of a scheduled outage on Wednesday, July 19th between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. for Hope Drive, Strawberry Drive, Optic Way, and Wicker Lane off Smith Road in Georgetown. For more information, please contact CUC's customer service team at 949-5200 or email service@cuc.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning none other than Dr. Steve McField. And the question is still out there for you. If you know or if you may be related to Captain Felton S. Dixon. And this article says he was of Bosun Bay, Grand Cayman. Now, Dr. McField and I were discussing this, and Dixon is not a West Bay name, but that is not unusual. Yeah. But if any of you know anything in relation to Captain Felton S. Dixon, because he was captain on the Julius H. Barnes, a vessel well known to Caymanians and Caymanian seamen, of Bahamian registry, 1,848 tons and a draft of 14 feet, and came to the Cayman Islands. We have a caller. Before we go to the caller, though, I've been asked to do some birthday greetings as well. So we see that Mr. Bunny Miles is celebrating his 78th birthday on Monday, the 17th of July. And God willing, if we're here on the radio on Monday, we'll give him a shout out again, but we're going to do it now. 17th of July, Monday, he will be 78 years of age, and birthday greetings are going out. Okay, but they will be traveling, so that's why we want to get those birthday greetings going out today as well. They'll be traveling on Monday. So birthday greetings are going out to Mr. Bunny Miles from his wife Mary, children Ruth Ann, Chris, Donna, and Tiffany, grandchildren Aaron, Taj, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Tori, Omari, Kai, and Nathan, and from other family and friends as well. And also birthday greetings going out to Miss Gwyneth Forbes. And those birthday greetings to Miss Gwyneth coming from Mary and Bunny Miles' family as well. So happy birthday to Mr. Bunny Miles on Monday when it comes, and safe travels as well. And also happy birthday greetings to Miss Gwyneth Forbes coming from the Mary and Bunny Miles and family as well. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor and Mr. Maxie. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. I'm just wondering, I heard a previous caller talking about the work permits for the people from Honduras. I wonder, how do they get these work permits and they do the online? Do they have a video link that they can tell it's the same person or what?
I will look into that in terms of how it works, because remember, these online testing, they're not controlled by authorities here. Like I said earlier, that there are certain companies, commercial companies out there that will charge a fee for you to take the English tests online, and they certify whether or not you have passed it. They give the scores as well. They are recognized internationally, and there are some that are accepted here by work in the Cayman Islands. Some of those testing companies, not all of them are accepted, but these are tests that are administered by an independent body, an independent agency.
Yeah, as I said, I don't think that's fair here, because you need to know definitely if that person is a true person. If you don't have a video link, how do you know? And I mean, even
I think they have a way of of verifying.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, some people can show a face. It's just like the people from other parts, like the Philippines and stuff. Most of them look alike. We're not certain who they are.
Yeah.
You know, we Caymanians, I can say who you are, and I know you from generations to generations. But the thing is, you know, different people now. The world is changing. The island is changing. So I think we need to be a little more cautious with what we do with the work permits, because I know there are people coming in here that don't have work, and yet they're getting these work permits issued. Caymanians are here waiting for jobs, and they're not given an opportunity. And I think it's time that we start with our people, because there's people here that is willing to work and want to work. And I don't know why we have to bring in any more people to work here when we have hard-working Caymanians. Even if they're retired, they still want to do something.
But do you believe that we have, I mean, look, we have another hotel opening up soon, Indigo Hotel. Do you think that we have enough people locally to staff that hotel?
Of course we do. Of course we do.
Okay.
Pay them the right salary, and you will see how many Caymanians, true-born root Caymanians, join it.
Okay.
Just pay them the right, you know. As I said before, we cannot work for $3 and $4 an hour. Caymanians are willing to work if the salary is right.
Yes, I agree with you, ma'am, and I have been an advocate for so many years now about giving Cayman a livable wage, and $4.50 US and $6 an hour Cayman dollars is not enough, and that is a tend to chattel slavery. It seems to me that what they have done, one of the greatest changes ever happened in our history was Emancipation Day, 1st of August 1834, and it seemed to me that they're putting us right back there, putting our people right back there now.
Thank you, sir.
And what happened after emancipation? The slave people had to work for little and nothing, but they call it apprenticeship. What we are now worse off than the apprenticeship, because in those days, what they paid them, at least they could eat off and support from the support of their provision grounds. We cannot live off $6 an hour now, because when your light bill is $100, but the fuel that they charge you for it is $200, and when you have to pay your car loan and your mortgage and all that sort of stuff, it is like living in slavery. And I cannot believe that other people expects the average Caymanian worker, the laborer, to live off that salary. It's like slavery, and it's it's very cruel and criminal. I call it criminal behavior for that to continue.
Yes, Mr. McField, I do agree with you, and I wish we had a lot more people like you. I know you're getting down there, but you know what? You're the only one that really will support us and point us in the right direction. And I'm sorry when anything happens that we don't have anyone leave in this little island to stick up for we Caymanians, because it's very sad. I mean, I see these days coming. I feel sorry for my children, not only my children, but other Caymanian children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. They're going to, just like I said the other day on the other talk show, we all will have to leave this country, this island, and go to someone else's country to be like the people that's coming here to get $1. Anyway, you all have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. We have another caller. Two more callers. We can grab one before the commercial break, and then we'll have to go to a break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, OC?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Steve.
Good morning.
Yes, Bill said just now what you said just now. That was real and exactly what's going on here. So, do you think what you just said just now? Do you think Cayman could ever pay reparations to say ancestors or slaves?
I'm not optimistic about that, sir. There are too many people now that pull the strings. Big money now, millionaires. I mean, we have reached a position. Can you imagine? I am trying to build a small little house, and I need lumber, and I have to go down to A.L. Thompson's or Kirk's or some places to buy it, and I have to be scraping around to see how I can pay them or to get credit from them to finish the little house that I'm building. And another man can come from another country with millions of dollars in his hand, and we give him. He said he's building a hotel, and we say, okay, you can come and build it, and you don't have to pay us any duty on it. You don't have to pay us any duty on the material that you're building it with. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that kind of injustice and imbalance? I mean, when you really think about it, when I tell some people about that, and some people come and I tell them that, they just cannot believe that that's true. But yet, for a bathtub or a shower that I have to put in my little small house, I got to pay the custom duty on that. And the bar wire that I have to pay around my house to keep my cow in, I have to pay duty on that. It's like what has happened to us?
Yes, and then this place is called a Christian nation.
Well, that's what they say it is, but there are all kinds of Christians, Orthodox Christians and all kinds of Christians, unorthodox Christians, and all kind of Christians. I'm not optimistic about it, because we actually do not control our own destiny, and we don't control our own self, and we have no. They say that we have no business in the economic economic prosperity of this country, and they have made that quite clear to us that you are on the bottom, and we are going to keep you there.
We're going to keep you there, and we're never going to raise the minimum wage and all that.
See?
No, that's totally wrong. I don't know. I believe we should build one gate right across from East End. You know what I mean? Go straight across the north side.
Yeah.
And go right round to the tip of West Bay. And just anything wants to stay town, make them stay there. But us, we just stay up there and farm and go live life and make babies.
Yeah, it seems like there are certain people who wish for our demise here, and that, like I always say, there are different ways of taking a country away from you, other than by invading you and putting you in reservations like what they have done with the Indians and the Native people and all of those countries that they came and use as new frontiers. And so what they're doing is starving us and keeping us down out of our birthright in the country.
Okay, caller, thank you very much for that. We have another caller on hold. We're going to take this commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly. Caller, hang in there. We will take your call as soon as we return.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Are you ready for a midsummer miracle? Get ready for the Christmas in July sale at Tortuga and discount retail stores. All July, Tortuga is bringing exclusive Red Dot deals in store. Discover incredible savings on selected items that will make your summer merrier. But hurry, the Red Dot deal is available while stock lasts during regular store trading hours. Don't miss the once in a summertime offer to save on your favorite beverages and more with Christmas in July. Visit a Tortuga and discount retail stores near you.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
So much happening, so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
Remember to discard all fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, all foods in canisters, dented, leaking or rusting cans after they have come in contact with floodwater. Also discard foods that are stored in cardboard boxes, paper foil, cellophane, and cloth, as well as those in open containers and packages.
For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit DAH website at www.gov.ky/DAH.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio, Dr. Steve McField with me, 2 callers on hold. Before we go to the caller, I just want to say that I have done some research and I found one article, and I'm going to share that with you because, we want to make sure that we present all sides of the any discussion that is taking place. And our callers, they always have strong points and very valid points as well, and we want to ensure that it is balanced. So this article talks about the online English language testing, increased access comes with security challenges. So we will look at some of those security challenges because based on some of our callers, they have questions about the security in terms of the administration and taking of that test as well. Let's go to the phone lines because this caller has been holding for quite a while. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Orrett. Morning, Mr. Steve.
Good morning.
Yeah, I was agreeing with the last caller and the later previous before him. Has this island ever considered, or if it doesn't have, has this island considered a pay scale?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, Carl, can you repeat that?
Yes, because we were talking about the minimum wage and like how the minimum wage is like pretty low for Caymanians especially, or should I say locals, right? And cost of living doesn't match. at all. Like, it is unfair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking about a pay scale. Like, has this island ever considered, or if it has a pay scale?
A pay scale?
Yeah, like you know, like when you separate the income, the minimum wage of the locals versus the permit holder, the people that are on permit. So, like, for example, if the minimum wage is at $6.50, does that apply to Caymanians as well, or locals?
Apply to everyone.
Everyone.
But this is the thing. This should consider a pay scale where there's a lot of people on this island that do accept the minimum wage, and they are very thankful for it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the ones that live very locally, that they are under the expense of what these foreigners are not dealing with. So, like, for example, rent. You got a lot of the people that are on permit that are willing to work to live with an individual in a private home.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're the locals that would prefer the little privacy and have a $1,275 apartment to, you know, get the convenience of their own privacy, but it's very expensive.
Okay, let me ask Dr. Steve McField this question then that I think that you really want to know. Would our Constitution and Section 16 permit the government to set wages for Caymanians at a different level for as wages for non-Caymanians?
Sure.
It would?
It wouldn't be discriminatory. Constitutional. It would be unconstitutional. And the problem that we have is that there are different ways of doing this. You could set different wages by categories of the kind of work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, the caller, is that I never actually at first believed in unions for Cayman because I thought Cayman was too small.
Mm-hmm.
But now other people are organized. If you had organized, the employer class is organized.
Mm-hmm.
They have their chamber of commerce and all that sort of stuff. They're organized, but the workers do not have any organization because when certain people started to have try to unionize the country, at least with the what we call the laboring class, the working class, they rejected it. Now you have no one because everybody seems to want to take advantage of you and so forth. And so now you have to find a way to organize, to speak with multiple voices, not with one voice, not multiple voices, to advocate for your best interests. But I see other Caribbean countries are raising the minimum wage to how much now? $15 an hour?
Bermuda, yes. It is $16.
$16 an hour in Bermuda.
US, yeah.
That US.
And we have not even considered the locals to say that it's the cost of living does not match the minimum wage at all.
See?
At all. Like, if I was to calculate, okay, say I'm working in Foster's, and I have to look for the cheapest apartment and say I have my daughter and my girlfriend living with me. And then I have to find the bare minimum of what we can afford. And that is still a little bit over what I would be making a minimum wage. I would have to be putting in with my girl or something like this. Or be asking for a little extra work in the night. And then at the same time, with that, it comes with a sense of stress because you don't get the amount of sleep you need. You can't enjoy your time. You're missing out valuable time with your family. For example, we talking about men's mental health last month, but nobody talks about that. And then you're talking about people with depression, anxiety, and all these mental health, right? And I would always say that if you was to give a man that is pretty poor, under depression, under stress, $1 million, even $1 million, I'm pretty sure that his depression and his stress gone away.
Well, Dr. Lockhart said several years ago that Caymanian had over 10 million people with some mental
10,000.
Yeah. And the problem that you have, ma'am, is that, just put it this way, put it simply, if you are getting $6 an hour and you are leaving your house in East End or Northside or Bottom Town to get to your work, so it takes almost an hour to do that. That's an hour salary that you're getting just to pay for the gasoline, just to get there. And if you do that twice a day, I mean, That's 2 hours of work that you would have to put in to pay just to get there, to get to work.
And caller, the conversation these days is more about a living wage rather than a minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
Yes, yeah. But caller, I want to thank you very much for that. We do have another caller on hold. Okay, the caller is not there, so why don't I give you an opportunity for some closing comments before you go, caller? Okay, that caller has left as well. So, Doc, this is an opportunity. I have 3 minutes before we go to the commercial break. So let's talk about the online language test.
Yes.
Because, people have concerns about that, and there are valid concerns that they have expressed. So this article says, I'm trying to see what date this article was. This is in August of 2022. Says English language testing has long been used for a variety of purposes such as hiring and promotions, college and university admissions, and immigration. The shift to online delivery of language tests did not start with the COVID-19 pandemic, but the pandemic certainly accelerated growth in the industry and acceptance of online tests by many more organizations, including U.S. and Canada, U.S. and Canadian schools. Need drove test companies to expand or transition to the online format. And during the last few years, one recurring challenge has been ensuring testing security. Security has always been a focus for high-stake tests, as some percentage of test takers continually seek ways to cheat the system. However, as tests move from secure testing centers to candidates' homes or any location with a laptop or a desktop computer and Wi-Fi access, testing companies experience new, continually evolving methods of cheating and have found the need to enact both technology and human-driven security methods of increasing sophistication. We interviewed 9 global English language testing organizations to provide an overview of online languages testing trends. Some of these companies were already leaders in online testing, while others expanded testing options during the pandemic closures. In either case, the shift to remote at-home testing highlighted new challenges in testing security. Conversations with the testing company representatives focused on digging into current security trends and issues, as well as the impact of the shift from paper-based to online test language, English test language testing. The most common security theme is layering of security measures. These layers may include artificial intelligence or computer-based security, flagging systems coupled with a human evaluation at different levels. The combination of technology and human assessment creates a system with multiple safety nets that test providers hope will catch both simple security issues such as candidates sneaking peeks at a mobile phone and larger scale operations such as items harvesting or fraudulent candidate swapping. Interviews included representatives from Bright Language, Duolingo, Cambridge University Press and Assessment, IELTS, ETS, ITEP, Kaplan International, Tools for English Language Certification, and Pearson English. And then it goes on to talk about them paving new grounds, but we do have to go to the commercial break. I'll read it and see if I can paraphrase after that. Folks, taking a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman News. A judicial review challenging the scope of the authority of the governor is rejected by the Court of Appeal.
Overstepped when he introduced the Civil Partnership Act using his reserve power.
It is our sincere hope that those with a difference of opinion can respect this judgment.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. So, Doc, what it says here also is that when you introduce more technology into the equation, when it comes to language testing, there are more opportunities for cheating when you introduce more technology into the equation as well. Two callers. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to all in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
I know you're very intelligent, and Mr. McField. I think we discussed this before, but it's something that should be looked into. The minimum wages. The hotels, in example, don't pay minimum wages. They pay $4.50 an hour plus tip, but wages come from the employer, and not from the guests. So they should have to pay the minimum wage of $6 plus tips, if any. As far as I'm concerned, I have to pay $6 for somebody to clean my house. Why do they only have to pay $4.50? Tips and not wages. You can't get a loan on tips, or your pension not based on tips. So that's the biggest problem why Caymanians don't want to work in places like the hotels, in restaurants.
You're right, sir. What we call gratuity. It's a tip. It's a gift from the person that you're serving. They give that to you. That should not even go to your employer. In other parts of the world, they have people, delegates in the businesses that take that money. They keep it, and they add it up, and then they distribute it themselves among the employees. Not the employer. That money wasn't given to him. That money was given to you. And the problem is that they have come to the position now where they're using that now as a supplement to the employees' wages. That is completely wrong and illegal. And
you are correct.
Not right.
Go ahead, caller.
The gratuity or the tip, whatever you call it, it's not wages. The wages is something that employer pays, not the guest. You know, so they should have to pay the same minimum wage everybody else has to pay, plus tips if it's coming from the guests. That should be changed in this upcoming minimum wages thing.
Well, you have to canvass it with the people that have the power to do something about that, to do it.
Yeah, you're right. They have the power to do it, but will they do it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And one observation that the caller made there, you have a valid point that it is not calculated when it comes to your pensions.
Yes.
And it's not calculated. Financial institutions don't necessarily take that into account when you're getting a loan. But where our work permit legislation is deficient, right? And I'll give you an example. When considering, first of all, I have to declare, for transparency purposes, I have to declare an interest that I'm a member of the Business Staffing Plan Board. But I'm not taking any secrets out. This is the law. This is the way that the law is, and the policy. That in order for a family or an individual to have a dependent accompany them on a work permit, the minimum salary has to be $3,500 CI dollars. Now, some people believe that is too low when you consider inflation and the cost of living and everything.
And when that was implemented, was implemented, we weren't living in these times that we are living now.
$3,500 per month, and for each additional dependent. So if you have a second one, then it's an additional $500. A third, it's an additional $500. But what the legislation talks about in terms of your ability and your salary, talks about salary and other means, so you can take into account other issues, and the legislation in a way may force you to consider gratuities to a certain extent, especially when an employer will provide information that continuously shows that on the basis of gratuities that their base salary, what they would make on their base salary, is either doubled or tripled, as a result of that as well. So in some instances, we have to take into consideration gratuities. Caller?
Yeah, well, you might have a point there, but it's still not wages, If you
no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You have to pay the wages.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. But as long as the business community controls Cayman, and we saw it in the merchant days, when you weren't able to get any pension legislation or anything put in place. Now it is controlled even more by businesses, and like Dr. Steve McField has said, unless workers unite in some way and speak with one voice, then you're not going to see much of an improvement unless you have legislators who are prepared to buck the establishment.
Yeah, like everybody says, the first thing I asked, what's for me?
Yep.
And the Bible says the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
It's getting time to really stop believing it or going by that part of the Bible, where rich get rich and poor get poor. I think we should stop doing that,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. We have enough time to grab another caller before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to Mr. McField. It's so good to hear you again. Good morning to you too, OC.
Good morning. Good
ma'am.
morning.
Good morning.
I don't quite agree with what you're saying, OC, about the gratuities taking account. Because I don't know if you know, but I worked in tourism all my working life, I should say. When it's in season.
So when you say you don't agree with me, what I actually pointed out there was the fact that gratuitous to a certain extent, because the legislation says other means that it has to be considered. Was that what you don't agree with?
That's what the lid say. Sorry, but I really don't agree with them because they're not out there working.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I said before that I worked all of my life in just about all of it, my working life in tourism.
Mm-hmm.
And now, gratuities is not given, and I know that you know this, is not given by the employer. The gratuities is given by the guest.
Yeah, Dr. Steve said that earlier. Mm-hmm.
Yes, by the guest. And the guest has enough to pay as it is because they keep adding government accommodation tax. It used to be 10%, 13%, now it's gone up again. And other tax, plus the expensive accommodations that we're offering, but we're not giving the guests back what that big money that they're paying. We're not giving them enough, not enough services and things like that. Now, sometimes if you're very good at your job, you're kind, you're courteous to the guests and things like that, and especially in condominiums, they will leave you extra. They will leave you extra. When it get out of season, you hardly get any gratuities at all. You hardly get any because out of season. We're 6 months in season and 6 months out of season. So I don't agree with that. But I tell you what we need is for the Department of Tourism to visit in these places much more often. In the places that, like, if it is private condominiums, they can't. They can't, especially if they're not renting.
Caller, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. We have to go to our headline news. I don't know if you want to hold on and so you can finish your thoughts after we return. It's going to be a quick break. Do you want to hold on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Susan, we're going to go to our headline news, and we're going to put that caller on hold and continue when we return. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Today's biggest news. Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
The Culture Minister visits the National Trust to check out artifacts and meet the team who held a recent archaeological dig at the historic Jackson's Wall in Newlands. Information about the site, the people who live there, and their way of life was discovered as a result of the excavation, and a second phase is now being planned. Major films in production, including Avatar and Gladiator sequels, are looking likely to be affected by Hollywood actors taking strike action. Promotional events such as red carpet premieres will also be affected, such as Disney film Haunted Mansion, released later this month. Events include the Emmys and Comic-Con, which may be rescheduled or scaled back. In the industry's biggest shutdown in over 60 years, some 160,000 performers stopped working at midnight in L.A. And Lisa Marie Presley, the only child of rock and roll legend Elvis, died of a bowel obstruction, according to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office. The obstruction was a result of adhesions caused by weight loss surgery she underwent several years ago. Presley, also a singer, died after being rushed to a hospital on January 12th. She was 54. Those are your headlines. I'm Carson Lee Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
The headline news are brought to you by Health Services Authority.
The Health Services Authority has over 120 world-class physicians offering the most comprehensive range of specialist services on island. Our dedicated team of professionals provide the highest quality care in orthopedics, interventional radiology, women's health, geriatrics, and a host of other specialist areas. We are a JCI accredited organization with a proven record of excellence. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We still have a caller on hold. Caller, go right ahead. Continue, please.
Okay. Then, Mr. O.C. and Mr. McField, then most times, condominiums and the hotels split up what gratuity that have to be distributed between just where they got that gratuity from, whether it's from the bedrooms or whether it's from the dining, split up with the kitchen, split up with the management. That's why I say it should be that the Department of Tourism, the head of tourism, Mr. Bryan, they need to visit to find out, because the people know. A lot of them are foreign people, and I heard your first caller say about speaking English. Yes, that is true. It is very, very true. I've proven that over and over again. But then again, it goes with the immigration being more stricter. It goes again with that employer. But what happens when they're not doing that? They offer, make the picture look pretty. $6 for many people is big money. Not for us Caymanians, but for that foreigner that is coming here. And then they end up being paid $4 US per hour, sometime less. There's a hotel now that is doing that right on that 7 Mile area. I know. I have two people there that I know about, two very good friends that I know about. I tell them to go and complain. They're afraid. They are afraid to lose their job. So it needs to be checked in tow. They're not providing livable salaries for us Caymanians, or less for the foreign workers that we got coming in here. That's why they got to live in slumber places, and people, Caymanians, offer slumber places because they're not getting big rent. And then what we gonna be called? The slums like everybody else.
Caller, let me ask you this question. Say it up. Let me ask you this question. When you were in the hotel industry working, how much? What was your salary? How much hour were they paying you?
Mr. McField, they didn't pay me by the hour. They paid me per every 2 weeks.
How much were you getting every 2 weeks?
Okay, I'll gladly tell you. it was 2,500 every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't start out with that.
Yeah, so
But now,
you were getting 2,500 every 2 weeks then. That was then.
Yes.
And how much? And your gasoline was how much per gallon? A dollar or something?
Oh no. Because I worked in hotels till I was 660 odd. I'm now 71.
No, I didn't ask you that. I asked you how much were you paying for gasoline.
I don't remember about the gasoline.
Probably in the sense. Yeah. But my question for you, caller, would be, since you were basically getting a biweekly salary, those persons who weren't getting a biweekly salary, like for instance, those persons who were attending the rooms and stuff, how much were they? Do you know how much they were paid per hour?
They were paid, yes. We need to know because that is audited every month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were getting $8.
$8 CI.
Yes, sir.
That was that was how many years ago?
I would say it's about 10, 12 years ago.
Compare that with the salary today now and the cost of living today now.
That's what we were trying to get at.
That's what we're trying to get at.
That's what I'm saying. It's not livable salary.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's why we're having so much poverty now in this island, something that we had poverty, but everybody, not poverty, but poor people, but everybody was alike, and everybody helped everybody, but it's not how it is anymore, and I'm glad you keep speaking about that. People don't live like people anymore. It's dog eat dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes. When you're on a subject like this, it is very touches to many. Back when I was in condo management and in hotels, I know you remember Mr. McField. I don't know about OC, but remember La Fontaine Hotel?
I remember, yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, yes. I begun there. We were like a big family, and many people have built their homes. Caymanian people have built their homes. Oh, what they used to make. They used to take home guests, but we'll never see that again. Take home guests and give them their fish dinner and give them their stew beans and whatnot. We'll never see that again.
Okay, caller, I want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for your contribution.
Thank you for accommodating me.
Okay, this person actually sent this early this morning, and I want to share this. It's fairly long, and I will paraphrase where I can. Person says, my experience with the English test is just another way of controlling certain businesses. I've had two individuals from Nicaragua. I've had two individuals from Nicaragua that are both bilingual. They are from the islands where they speak both English and Spanish. They passed their written test 100%, but failed when they were asked to determine what our AI, artificial intelligence, was saying. This is so unfair to people coming here from Spanish countries to work and then asked to pass a written and listening test, especially when they can communicate with their co-workers and employers. Ironically, just 50 years ago, Caymanians were welcomed with open arms to these same countries seeking jobs, even though they spoke no Spanish. In my opinion, this being prejudiced against people from these demographics. Reason for my statement is I frequent a few neighborhood establishments in central Georgetown area and have to use a language converter to order a drink. That was interesting. Then he go on to say, nothing is foolproof but salvation. I will prove that a particular Cuban girl had her English test approved subsequently after she was accosted on a Friday night raid by work. This was after her 3-month temporary had expired and was seeking a further permit for 12 months, which requires a language test and a medical certificate. Didn't read what the bottom of it said after that, and it wasn't for the public. Well, I just have to apologize. I just ended up making it public, but there have always been concerns and questions in relation to the application of the English test in the Cayman Islands when it was done orally, when it was done by individuals, and we don't have to talk about the scandals and where we're at today in terms of having these online testing, because of that. But yes, that's the case. What do we have? 3 callers, Miss Susan. You want to take the break first, and then we're going to take the callers. And just to say that the show will be abbreviated this morning. We'll be going off air at 9:45 as opposed to 10 o'clock this morning as well. I thought we had done that already, but we will. Okay, folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay Mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Hey, is your phone slow, overheating, and dropping important calls? Don't fret. This summer, it's time to flip out with Digicel. Introducing the all-new Samsung Flip 4 with its sleek design and cutting-edge features. You'll flip into the summer in style and confidence. This summer, you can grab the all-new Samsung Flip 4, all just for $145. Flip into the summer with Digicel. Visit a Digicel store near you and grab the all-new Samsung Flip 4 and the amazing 7-day Prime Ultra plan today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I go in flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey is now in full swing, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness would like to thank the community for their ongoing support of this endeavor. Participants who have completed Steps 1 and 2 of the survey are reminded to complete Step 3 by Sunday, July the 31st. Any survey participant needing additional support or information can contact mhwsteps@gov.ky or call 936-4969.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Dr. Steve McField in the studio with me. We have 3 callers, so we're going to try to get through those calls. We're going to ask each caller to try to be as brief as possible. Yes, we know that we have given some persons extra time to talk, but we do that when we know that the phone lines are clear at those points. We know now that we have 3 callers on hold, so we're asking each one to be as brief as possible. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Am I on?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, great. Yeah, good morning, Ossie and Dr. Steve.
Good morning, Mr. Billy Pamamba.
Yes, well, it's good to have an opportunity again to converse with you. I was privileged in 2003 when I came to Cayman to help to write the Employment Law 2003, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first
20 years
law
ago.
I ever wrote it. Yes. And I remember that time, just before I get to my point, very quickly, when I met Mr. Roy Borden, he was minister then, and then he was told, well, this is the drafter who's going to be preparing your law. And then he turned to me and said, welcome to the Cayman Islands. And in his inimitable style, he said, well, this is like a baptism of fire. Mm-hmm. And by that, what he meant was that it was a very controversial piece of legislation. And it seems to me, 20 years later, that fire is still burning in some form or shape. Now, substantively, you see, one of the issues that we discussed then, and I worked then on that particular piece of legislation with Mr. Tibbetts, Mr. McLaughlin, Joy Basdale, and they went into it very detailed. One of the things which kept coming up was, how is this going to work if there are no unions, which you have touched on as well? How is it going to work? And then I checked, I found there's a Trade Union Act. And apparently that Trade Union Act is in force, because my latest check in the last few minutes again is that it is actually in force.
That's right.
And yet, thanks for confirming that. And then the 2004 employment law, it says on the website that the commencement unknown. Now, first of all, that shows you that it's not very important to anybody. But I understand actually it is partly in force. Some sections were brought in force. But at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make is this, and I think you've already made it. You have to have what is called a tripartite system in employment arrangements. The government is there to do certain things. The employers, the Chamber of Commerce, which you have pointed out, is there to look after its interests. But unless you have also a trade union system that is working well, somebody will be disadvantaged, and this is what has happened in Cayman. So, and I think there is need for some of these laws in order for them to become effective. First of all, they have to be brought in force. But on top of that, there is, I wrote a thesis many years ago on trade union rights. There is what is called a Freedom of Association Committee of the International Labour Organization. This is a body where if you try to organize a union, or you have a union, but then the union is being victimized, you can actually petition directly to the International Labour Organization Freedom of Association Committee, and they have thousands of cases over time to be able to help you to form the unions if, for example, you're going to be victimized. But otherwise, the point I just wanted to make is that unless this is done, the workers will continue to be exploited. And if they are afraid to form a union, then the government must be able to assist them in a small jurisdiction like the Cayman Islands to say, look, we want to protect you, you are our electorate and so on, and so we want to facilitate you forming the unions, because that way, at least once the government does that, that fear that people will be victimized might be eliminated. I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Billy.
Thank you very much. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Good morning, Dr. McField.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Richard Bernard. I just want to state that I've also worked in the hospitality industry for decades. As a matter of fact, I usually work 2 jobs. I worked at the bank in the daytime, and then I was the night auditor for, a myriad of hotels. Caribbean Club, Holiday Inn, Grand Pavilion, Grand Caymanian, a lot of them. I on many occasions found that the gratuities were being stolen by management. And I brought this to the attention of then Rudy Seltzer. And as a matter of fact, this is when some legislation started to be enacted, to control the gratuities and make sure that the gratuities were paid so that our staff. I also give kudos to Mr. McKeever Bush when he was Minister of Tourism, that he tried also to do something about it. However, the Labor Department has not continued to do their due diligence. And what's happening right now, people are working more hours for less money. When I was a night auditor at the Grand Pavilion Hotel, this is 1995, I was making $14 an hour. $14. I see ads now advertised for night auditors for $7 an hour. We have gone backwards, not forward. There's no control. There's no penalization for businesses here and so on. The gratuities are still being stolen from the hourly workers. And let me tell you, the foxes have actually got into the hen house.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, earlier in the conversation, I think you all were referring to the businesses or the business community actually running or controlling legislation in the government, etc. Something to that effect? Yes. So I just wanted to say that, yeah, that's how it is. I think that's how it's always been. And in this day and age, we have an investor who came into our islands with that intent to control everything. And that when we saw that so many of our local businesses were being bought up, and I'm not saying that they were aggressively pursued. Yeah. But once an offer was made, many of our people found they couldn't resist. And our businesses were sold out to the DART organization to the point now where that particular organization controls the Chamber of Commerce, because, of course, the Chamber of Commerce is made up of local businesses. So local control has been handed over because the businesses, like you said, control things, and the businesses have their union. They are very unionized, very much of one voice via the Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber of Commerce runs the country. It's as simple as that. So whoever is controlling the Chamber of Commerce has control over our local economy, our laws, and everything else associated with it. And one final thing, I believe, OC, you may have said that gratuities are not pensionable. You don't pay pension on gratuities.
No.
One of the callers said that.
Correct, though. I'm fairly certain it's not. When the pension calculation is being done by the HR department in whatever organization, it is to be based on
salary
what the person carried home. Yeah, their income.
Income, okay.
Yeah, but that includes the gratuity, and in most cases, well, I shouldn't say most cases, but during our very prosperous season, in high season, the gratuities many times they exceed the basic salary. So that was all I had to say. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that as well. We still have one more caller, Ms. Susan. Okay. We have a caller in the WhatsApp, but I want to share this because I asked this question, and I want to thank the person who shared it with us. Says the person said that they had just tuned in and they heard me mention Captain Felton S. Dixon. Person says that they were a small child when he lived on the island, so they don't remember too much about him. However, they do remember him being, he and his family attending the Presbyterian Church in Bosun Bay. Person says that one time they remember that during one stormy day, while his ship was passing by the island, he anchored for a while abreast where his family house was, and we all went on the beach to see it. That was an exciting time. He and his family moved to Florida, and he passed away several years ago. A few of his daughters moved back for a while, and as far as I know, one daughter is still here in West Bay, as well as other family members. And then one caller shared offline with us the fact that Captain Felden was married to Ralston and Irvin Rivers' sister in West Bay. That's who he was married to. So,
okay, yes.
You know, our people, we know our
Yes,
history.
yes.
We know our people as well. Let's go
Yes.
to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, Mr. Connor, it's me again here. Dr. McField, you know, and Mr. Connor knows, for a long time, yes, Dr. Frank McField used to speak about the labor union. And when I say what I have to say...
Well, he did more than speak about them. He formed one.
Yeah, I would like to hear what your feedback would be. Because I remember going to New York, that was in the 70s, and I used to do refurbishing of basements and stuff down there with a man named Allenby, passed on now from Cayman Brass. But when I went there, they asked, you know, coming from Cayman, we don't do just painting or sheetrock work. We can do everything. We more than everything, most of us, especially me. I could paint, I could tile, I could do capital work. The only thing I couldn't do was electrical. But anyhow, when I went there and they asked me to sit down to me, said, what is your profession? I said, I can do anything. They say, you specialize in windows or hanging doors? I said, I do all of that, where I'm coming from. They said, well, here, you can only do one job. If you're dealing with windows and doors, that's what you will do. You can't cross over. So what I'm trying to say is that if we had a labor union here in Cayman, it would help the Caymanians as well in their work jobs. But we don't have a labor union because I don't know why the government didn't actually, keep it up, keep it going if it was any. But I know Dr. Frank McField always was calling on that. So I can like to hear your feedback on that. Why isn't the government trying to put a union here in Cayman?
Well, it's not the government has to put a union. It's the workers that have to organize. Workers have to organize, and the reason why the union didn't survive is because Dr. Frank McField went into government.
He was elected into government,
and then he was elected in the cabinet,
and no one to lead the
organization after that while he was there.
But it's not the responsibility of government
to put a union in.
Exactly.
It's the responsibility of the workers to organize. Yep. There are lots of places where they could where they can get information from to organize, but it's just the fact that we have frowned on the unions, we have frowned on the organizations, and we have discouraged that. And anybody who was to try to do it was looked upon as a troublemaker,
or communist as well.
Yes. And so that's one of the reasons why it never survived here.
Former politicians. Yeah. We have to go to a commercial break. We want to thank that caller very much. When we come back, we have one voice note that we're going to play. I have it's online, we're going to play that. And I have a few WhatsApp messages, and I'm going to give Dr. McField, a few minutes behind the mic as well. And we will be closing off at 9:45 this morning. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly. Phone lines are now closed off.
No, man. I'm tired of seeing a new charge on my phone bill every month.
You are always complaining about that bill. I think it's time you make that switch to Digicel.
I've been with my network for more than a decade. I don't know if I want to move over now.
Well, better later than never. When you switch to Digicel, you get better speeds, more data, and simply more value. Best of all, no dishonest practices. What they say is what you get. Make that switch today and get 50% off your first 2 months.
50% off my first 2 months? Mary, you're convincing me now. Okay, I will visit a Digicel store near me.
Experience the bigger, better network. Switch your postpaid number to Digicel for 50% off your first 2 months or get a free 30-day Prime bundle for prepaid customers. Make the switch today.
The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey is now in full swing, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness would like to thank the community for their ongoing support of this endeavor. Participants who have completed Steps 1 and 2 of the survey are reminded to complete Step 3 by Sunday, July the 31st. Any survey participant needing additional support or information can contact mhwsteps@gov.ky or call 936-4969.
Are you ready for a midsummer miracle? Get ready for the Christmas in July sale at Tortuga and discount retail stores. All July, Tortuga is bringing exclusive Red Dot deals in store. Discover incredible savings on selected items that will make your summer merrier. But hurry, the Red Dot deal is available while stock lasts during regular store trading hours. Don't miss the once in a summertime offer to save on your favorite beverages and more with Christmas in July. Visit a Tortuga and discount retail stores near you.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Radio Cayman, your #1 community station, would like to remind you that we are in the hurricane season, and in order to survive a hurricane, you need to be prepared. If officials' sources say a hurricane is imminent, please board up or shutter up windows in your home or place of business. Remember to use good lumber, as makeshift boarding may actually cause more damage. Also put strong bracing on outside doors so that they are not blown off or blown in.
This hurricane advice was brought to you by Radio Cayman, your caring community radio station.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before we go to the phone line, the WhatsApp line, we have a caller there. We received email from Miss Marie, who is the daughter of the great Caymanian stalwart, Mr. Clifton Borden, also known as CB. And Doc, we visited him at his home, and he had a good chat with him and told us so many stories and stuff like that, CB. Yes. So she says that her father, the late Clifton Borden, better known as CB to many workers as the chief engineer, was the chief engineer on the Julius H. Barnes. The ship called into Cayman on occasions that I can remember. He says Captain Dixon was from Cayman Brac and was married to a lady from West Bay named Andelin Rivers.
Oh,
Andelin Rivers.
I knew it was something we were saying that West Bay, Dixon, not a West Bay name. He was. Dixon's a Cayman Brac name.
Brac, yeah.
And an East End name.
Yep. Miss Susan, let's take that WhatsApp call. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, interesting conversation I got this morning. I want to find out why is permits still being issued if the government acknowledged that $6 an hour isn't enough to survive within this country. I mean, they're issuing the permits, and they know that you can't live off of it. So why is, to me, that looks like a crime against humanity, because you're bringing these people into the country. They can't survive on the minimum wage that is being paid, but yet you're issuing permits. You're issuing permits that some of them could work under. Not all of them work for minimum wage. I understand that, but most of them do. And then you're talking about taking out pension and health insurance out of that same $6 an hour.
Yeah.
That is what happened with slavery too, because the merchants didn't want to lose their income from the slaves. So slavery became longer to be abolished, you know.
Yeah.
So that minimum wage now is being used as a weapon, artillery against the Caymanian workers.
Okay.
You know?
I'm going to have Dr. McField answer, but I just want to say to you that you don't hear many now, whether or not they decide that they choose not to complain, you don't hear many of the work permit holders complaining about the salary that they're receiving. First of all, they agree to that before, when they're applying for the work permit, and if they have contractual agreements with their employers, they have agreed to that. You don't hear many of them complaining, and my opinion on that, the reason why, is for some reason they are able to survive. Not only survive on that, but to send money home to their relatives as well. So for some reason, they are able to make it on these salaries. I don't know how, but Doc, over to you.
That's because they are relegated to living in one room, 5 and 6 people, sleeping, taking turns and sleeping, one car, driving all of them to work. They buy things by bulk, one sack of rice, one sack of flour, and they're splitting all that. And so while we have to pay for $2,000 a month mortgage for a house, they're paying probably $50 a week to sleep. And that's the difference. They do not have the expense that we have. And another thing is because $1 in our currency probably is what, $500 in their currency.
Yeah. Now, the question that the caller had in relation to why, if the government acknowledges that the minimum wage is not sufficient, why are they allowing to work permits? Does that have to do with the fact that that is the law that is in place, and until that legislation is repealed replaced, the government is bound by that as well?
That's right.
They can't dictate otherwise than by changing the legislation.
That's right. If the legislation says $6, the government can't compel the employer to pay them $10. The employer is going to say, "Well, you're in breach of the law."
Yeah.
And so forth. And then another thing, which is the gist of the lawyer's questions. Those people who sanction the $6 an hour and continue to do that are baptized in the cult of the dollar and greed. And as long as they can make more money, their bottom line can increase and increase and increase. They're not worried about how you live.
Yep.
And that's why in all those places they have the unions to say, no, we have to. This is the standard we want for our people as well.
And we see what's happening in Hollywood now, where the writers and then the actors now have joined them as well, because it's not, Caller, just want to give you an opportunity just for some quick closing comments before we go off.
Yeah, I mean, but that, to me, why you all say that, I mean, I totally agree with that, but the question still remains, it's an injustice. So the government, how you look at that is that the same government is putting an injustice against their own people.
But
it isn't fair competition. And
in all fairness to the government, though, they have established a minimum wage committee.
Yeah.
That committee will soon be making their recommendations to the government. So we have to wait and see what transpires from that, what happens from that. But you have to be fair to the government.
Yes.
They have established a minimum wage committee. That committee, is still dealing with the matter and will submit their report eventually.
I understand soon.
Yes, soon as well.
Yes.
Caller, thank you very much. Very interesting observation, as well. And I have always said that at some point in time, we in the Cayman Islands, if we're not careful, some international organization is going to accuse us of human trafficking in the Cayman Islands.
Yes.
Doc, I give you 4 minutes for you to close off.
This morning was really active.
Yep.
This was a very active morning, and I just wanted to make a little observation about gratuities. Since there's no union, and since it doesn't seem that anyone is going to take the bull by the horns or let the bull out of the pen, it's that everybody who's interested in this gratuitous system can get the information they need, because every time you go to an establishment, because they're not every establishment that has that takes the gratuity and then demand that you pay it. Every establishment has a record of the gratuity that you pay, that you give to the workers, because that's included in your bill. They make sure before you leave the restaurant that they include that 50% or 10% in your bill. So it's easy to ascertain how much gratuity they have collected on the workers' behalf for every day that the worker had been working, or every day that they have made sales in that establishment. Perhaps it is time, if we're not going to get a new labor law or with some more teeth to it, or if there's not going to be no union, perhaps there's time that a person who represents the employees be recognized, and the gratuities go to them, and they are the ones then who will distribute the gratuities to their fellow employees.
Good point.
It should not ever continue to be in the hands of the employer. Mm-hmm. And the worker sometimes do not even know how much gratuity they have collected on their behalf.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
And that's what I would leave this morning.
Thank you very much, Doc. I'm going to dispense with my closing comments, because I want to share what this person sent to us as well. It says, good morning. In 1973, I worked as a cocktail waitress at the Holiday Inn at $2.10 per hour. Each person was able to keep their personal tips. They go on to say, by the way, I went one day to seek a job as a cocktail waitress. I had no experience in that line of work, and I was told that it was required for me to have experience. I said, sir, I need a job like yesterday so I can learn how to. I'm willing to be trained. I said the most important thing, I need no training, and that's customer-oriented training. I started to work the next day and remained there for 13 years. When I left, I got a job in government and retired from there after 23 years. I give credit to my customer service experience working with people locally from all walks of life, and tourists likewise. And what that demonstrates is that all you have to do is give a person a chance. That's all you have to do. Take a chance on me and see how well you are rewarded. Folks, have a great weekend. Please stay safe. Dr. McField, thanks for being here as well. As usual, when you're on the show, that's when the action gets going. So tells you that we can't do without you. Folks, have a great weekend. Please stay safe. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey is now in full swing, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness would like to thank the community for their ongoing support of this endeavor. Participants who have completed Steps 1 and 2 of the survey are reminded to complete Step 3 by Sunday, July the 31st. Any survey participant needing additional support or information can contact mhwsteps@gov.ky or call 936-4969.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
The Commission for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that the Register of Interests portal is now accepting declaration submissions.
All annual declarations are due on the 30th of July.
If you need assistance to complete your declaration, the Commission for Standards in Public Life has a new tutorial video available to provide further guidance. Visit www.standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky/register of interest to view the tutorial video today.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush. For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And by the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Visit gov.ky/steps to learn more. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.
Here is where tradition never dies. This is your radio.